Welcome into Extreme Talk presented by GracePointe Healthcare. Request your new patient appointment online, $20 off if you're a new patient. GracePointe Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Fueled by Fairlife Core Power Protein, financially supported in part by First Horizon, and sponsored by Crumble Cookies and Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Decent day today on this Sunday in November. First Sunday of November.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
So, not too bad. Welcome to everyone watching or listening. It caught at it didn't catch your dancing, but it caught at the right moment where he was in mid disco point.
Catch us dancing?
No, that's on me.
It's you.
I probably should
You
have.
the hater.
I was focused on
No,
the
she could have turned the
sponsors.
camera earlier.
I mean, she could have. No, that doesn't
Did it?
matter.
It's up to him,
Yeah,
though.
it's not Audrey's fault.
It'd be the
okay?
ones close
Come
to
on.
you.
I know.
It really be the
Blame
ones
it on
you
Audrey.
brought.
like that
usually.
sometimes.
It'd
Welcome
be
to
the
everyone
ones you
watching or
brought
listening
us.
around the world. Spencer Tomzett, Brendan Daniel, James Shannon, Audrey Green on the other side of the camera. Another weekend done. The weekend of state championships done as we look forward to nationals. But we got to recap your games around the state and everything. But chill Sunday so far. Not as active as we've been used to throughout the season, where we've had double headers. I mean, technically it was a double header this past weekend, but it felt different setting up the equipment here on a Saturday night than it did being in the cold and everything. Because you were mentioning when we got to the studio yesterday, first time in 11 years you haven't been at the state championship for MTAC TSIAA at all. So
It was so strange.
yeah, surreal stuff. But let's go ahead and get you recapped for all these state championships out of the teams we covered. We start first with the ACSC, the matchup that came right down to the wire. The Ezekiel Academy Knights, Coach Hunter Wilson, and the senior leaders of Ezekiel Academy, they got it done and defended their state championship successfully. 41-36 against the Evangel Lightning. Well, James, you see this kind of matchup,
Is that?
and
Oh, there it goes. It was blurry.
let's start one. That matchup, close as it has been the last several years in the regular season. We knew that Tim Smith was and the rest of the Evangel Lightning were coming out with a vengeance. But when you've got taller, faster, stronger guys on the Ezekiel Academy side, it shows when you lose star players like Jet Lodge and Tyler Henson, players like that for the Evangel Lightning. And there are a lot of question marks for the three-time defending national champions heading into Florida. But with this matchup, you have to give credit to the Ezekiel Academy Knights on being back-to-back state champions.
Tyler who?
Henderson. Okay.
How dare you disrespect him like that? Anyway,
State championship. Anyways.
I got it. I'm here. I mean, it's hard to beat a team twice. It really is. But they did it. They made it happen, and it was at their home field, so that helps a little bit. Not as much. They didn't have to travel. But it was just a good showing by Ezekiel. Evangel kept looking like they were going to come back a little bit, and Ezekiel just kept shutting it down over and over again. And it's a credit to them. They came ready to play. They were not done with this season yet.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't satisfied with just having beaten Evangel and having a good season and making it to the state championship. They wanted that title. They wanted to be back to back. Corey Murphy, he's already broken the single-season rushing record. Now he's broken the single-season touchdown record, rushing touchdown record. So give it up.
Yep.
Congrats to him.
Congratulations.
But last night, 20 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just he handled business. And then, but for the other side, you still had Hunter Atkins, who's a sophomore, 17 carries, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns for him too. So, they came ready to play. And, Brendan, you look at the quarterbacks. Both of them were on point. Leach struggled a little bit. That Evangel defense did kind of keep him in the game there, but overall they were able to make it happen.
And whatever he couldn't do in passing, he did in running with 4 carries and 48 yards. But honestly, when you have a good quarterback like Peyton Leach, even though he had a struggle with passing the ball. I mean, Eli Whitfield just has better options, honestly. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talk about how Ezekiel Academy has better options to pass the ball and run the ball. Evangel's receiving. I mean, Judah Thompson, 12 receptions, 208 yards, and 1 touchdown, with Chapman 5 receptions, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, come on. What can you do?
I mean, you did have Matty Speckman, though, Bishop Speckman's little brother. Only got 3 catches, but he made it. He made them count, averaging 36 yards a catch, 109 total yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Corey Murphy added a touchdown catch for 43 yards. So, offensively, I mean, it was a showdown. You could see by the score, 41-36. It was an offensive showdown, but there were defensive plays. And we mentioned a couple interceptions. There were defensive plays across the board.
And you also wonder on that because in high school football, they don't keep track of the targets. You wonder how many times Spackman was targeted, or the rest of the receivers, how many targets they had throughout the contest for that. Because three catches made him count, and you wonder how many times he had passes in his area or maybe overthrown or situations like that. But what also intrigued me was we were updating during the CFA championship. We were getting the score from looking at the broadcast. Evangel went up on a 15-0 run to start off.
Right.
Very parallel to the national championship last year where Ezekiel went up by, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns.
It was 13-0, 14-0, something like that, maybe 15.
Yeah. So that in the just in the first quarter, and then of course we know about the story where Tim Smith was pointing to the ring. I wonder if Hunter Wilson was pointing to a state championship ring when that happened. He's just pointing to the state championship ring on that. That would have been fun. But end of the first,
just pull out the Uno deck, Uno reverse,
reverse. Either that or just imagine that Evangel gets on their offensive drive, goes into the playbook. Hunter pulls a skip card. Just pulls the skip card.
No, Evangel goes on offense. Hunter comes over, grabs his Uno. He goes, guys, we're going to pick him off. Lays the skip card down.
Better yet, it's better yet, he mixes up the Uno cards and then plays a go directly to jail card.
I mean, that would work if Ezekiel had interceptions. They didn't.
Right.
Evangel did, though. Christian Chapman, 2 picks.
Yeah.
And, they did have 5 passes defensed for Ezekiel. So, actually, it's probably Tim Smith pulling out the skip card and going, nope, not your turn.
Either that or pulling the
not your turn again.
Or maybe they were playing Monopoly, pulled the go back 3 spaces card, something like that. End of the first quarter, Evangel was up 15-7, and then I believe halftime it was 28-22. Ezekiel led by 6. And then from there, Evangel even came back with 10 minutes left in the fourth. That was when they were down by 42-29, and then a minute left. It just came down to that onside kick recovery that Evangel couldn't get, and it's just again, Ezekiel Academy. You got great stuff from them and back-to-back state champions.
Well, and Brendan, Evangel never quit. I mean, scoring with seconds left to put themselves in a position where in onside, they get that onside, they could have done something. But in terms of defense and tackles, I mean, across the board, guys like Harris Black, 12 total tackles. Ezekiel had some dudes too.
Yeah, Ezekiel had, like Richardson, with 7 total tacks, but another senior, Patchell, 11 total. And then you go to sacks, where there's only like 2 of them, Tormey and Richardson, of course, and a lot of hurries by Richardson and Tormey, of course. But, this just seems like a chess game with the coaches. That's all it was. Because as Spencer explained what all happened and the scoring and everything, you just listen to it, and it's like, oh, so coaches got busy.
Yeah.
The coaches were sitting there plotting and twisting and twanging and everything, and that's basically what it was.
And the offensive lines, it looks like, only 3 total sacks in the game, so both offensive lines did a good job protecting the quarterback. The game plans were good to go ahead and get the ball out, but you still had Everson Jones with 4 tackles for loss for Evangel, and then several guys with 1 or half a tackle for loss. So, in terms of run game, there were some plays made, but all in all, it was a fun championship game to even just keep up on. I still want to go back and watch it completely because it looks like that might be a game where we know what happens. I might go back and watch it. Maybe do another Manning cast.
Might do an extreme cast on that
extreme
one.
Cast, sorry.
But, we mentioned it off air as well, talking not just about that game, but going into the national championship, how much of these games are coming down to the adjustments, to the adjustments, to the adjustments. And you're absolutely right about it being chess, maybe even 4-dimensional chess in this regard between Smith and Wilson, because they know each other so well, facing each other in the regular season. And Coach Wilson has mentioned multiple times about how Tim is a mentor to him in the coaching side and everything. So you don't see it often where the student gets to beat the master in the coaching scene and everything. So it's good stuff from Coach Wilson.
If you're Ezekiel, you want to keep Coach Wilson around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You want to keep. You do not want him making up his mind that, you know what, I'm just done coaching. You don't want that. Trust me.
I don't even think he would have that thought.
Trust me,
crossing
you're
his
not that
mind.
guy.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think Coach Wilson is even the
I
guy to
don't
have
know.
that cross his mind.
I mean,
No, he
you-
seems like he loves coaching.
Yeah.
When
he
we
loves
went to go see him
coaching,
in Tennessee,
but I
he-
mean, you still got to have the support of your school though for
Well,
football.
yeah,
And if
right.
that support isn't there,
if
you
they
know.
bring home a trophy from Florida, that might give them enough support because
Maybe.
they already sent him down. This is the second year in a row they're going down to Florida, so they might have the support of him at this point.
maybe
Shout out-
the second game.
well,
Maybe.
there's not PAT. I know Evangel got some PATs, but I'm always going to be the special teams guy.
Mhm.
Shout out Mac Mills, 5 of 6 on extra points.
Mhm.
Solid night, and a couple punts for both teams. Judah Thompson 40-yard punt, and then Peyton Leach had two 30-yard average punts. So I know one of them didn't go great, I believe, but all in all, it was a fun championship.
Oh, yeah.
41-36 is a solid game.
Yeah, solid game, close all
Closest
around.
one
and,
of the weekend.
And not even that and the lead changes happened multiple
Yeah.
times as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there was so much drama throughout it. So congratulations to the Ezekiel Academy Knights. They defend their state championship. They go back-to-back and have a chip on their shoulder heading into Florida for the national championship next weekend. And as for the Evangel Lightning, they're still three-time defending national champions. But, of course, taking a loss to the state championship, at least they had the opportunity to go back to the state championship when
Right.
they were out last year due to the tiebreakers with the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors.
Well, they got to go back and defend their title.
No, yeah, they
They gotta
do.
go back to
They-
Florida.
they're
That does
three-
bring up
yeah.
the question, though.
Mhm.
So 3 losses on the year, all 8-man losses. In the
Mm-hmm.
past, if they had losses, it might be one here, or maybe it was an 11-man game. 3 losses this year. If they don't win nationals, and they don't win that title, do they go back next year? Even if they don't win state,
Depends
do
on
they
how
go
they-
back? That's the question, because at that point
Depends.
you're not going back to defend your national title. You've
Uh-huh.
already lost it.
It depends on how they do in the regular season. That's what it comes down to in
I
2022.
mean,
Depends on how they are going into the year with the NHSA rankings. We leave that to Hank St. Dennis and Company. That's their
Well, they're
job.
not going to go in number 1 unless they win nationals. I can't see them going in number 1.
No, of course not. More than likely not. Especially
that-
the amount of seniors they have graduating.
And they would have to go through Grace Baptist, who's already beat them, and potentially Ezekiel,
Mhm.
who's beat them twice. Now they do have Freedom,
Mhm.
and they beat Freedom, but I almost think Freedom's been a different team down the stretch.
They have.
So
They absolutely have. On Friday night, we were, of course, at Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Russell Christian, 34. Evangel Christian, 24. And worked a 4-person crew as we have been the last several weeks and everything. Great environment at Tuscaloosa Christian.
That was awesome.
The fans were really into it. We were, of course, on the side with the press box. The fans were into it. You could even hear the excitement from the Evangel Christian fan
On the
base on the
other
other side of
side,
the
yeah.
field and everything. How was it from your field perspective?
I mean, there was a lot of talking. Tensions were high, so there was a lot of talking between the two fan bases, but not between them, like onto the field.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, everyone really behaved themselves for the most part, I would say. And I know it's not the shout out section, but I have to give a shout out to that PA announcer.
Mhm.
Solid
Yeah.
PA work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good
after
stuff.
some of the cruddy work we've seen this season, solid PA work.
Hey, he's got to call it like it is. That's the job of
Am I
journalism.
wrong though? Am I wrong though? There's been some rough PA announcing
Well,
this year.
I think it's different when you go to a championship. So then you just have.
I've heard bad PA announcing at championship games too.
I have to.
Yeah,
There's
there's been some bad. There's been some bad ones. Trust me.
We've been around the block a little bit, but no. In terms of the actual game, I mean, Russell Christian, they were leading by only 12 points at it was at the half. It was 20-8,
No, it was 20-0.
20-0,
At
and
the
then
end of the half.
Yeah, 20-0 end of the half, and then
oh yeah, because they scored that last. touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so 20-0 at the half. Evangel started to come back. It looked like they had it in them, but it was a turnover game is really what it came down to. And there was just you wonder how much of an impact it would have made if number 19 from the Lions had gotten it more involved because third, fourth quarter, just anybody else because it was just between quarterback and it was between 4 and 11. Those
Yeah,
were the only
that's it.
connections that were being made there, and that's really, at least paper, it looks like it's what cost them the game.
Absolutely. They didn't even attempt to get anybody else involved until like later on the third quarter. I mean, Max started getting his running in about like halfway into the third quarter, and they finally decided to run the ball. But Kennedy Holland, man, what
Yeah.
a player. Just to put a team on his back and just able to get out of the pocket and run as possible can. And Jeremiah Williams as well did a great job. But again, you got to give somebody else the opportunity on offense.
Yep.
Because if you're just sitting there giving it to the same person, you're going to have turnover after turnover after turnover because the defense is going to figure you out.
I would say there's very few players that, especially on special teams and return. I mean, there's a couple like Gage Conger from TSD, and there's others, but there's very few players. He's got 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year, and there's very few players that on a kickoff, they got several of them Friday night. He gets the ball, or even on a punt, and you're just watching because you know at any moment he could just bust it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Devin Hester back in the day.
There's-
You know at any point he just hits that one corner or gets that one block, and boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
There
And
was
every time he was shut down.
Yeah.
The Russell Christian,
they scouted it.
They
They scouted
studied
it.
on their film on that. But
They scouted it for sure, and you know they made it a game there at the very end. They did get to score a little too late, but a good showing for Evangel, and you know I don't know about the decision that they've made to go back to 11-man next year.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Webb last year. We've seen
Yeah.
how that worked out for Webb, but you know.
Shout out to Evangel's defense, too.
Hey.
It's just they stayed
Yeah.
on there way too long. So eventually,
Yeah.
coming from a defensive player, you get exhausted.
Oh
and
yeah.
You don't have enough guys to rotate. So eventually, you're just like, well, I mean, there's nothing we can do. The gap's open.
Well, they would make just enough plays to slow down Russell, and then Russell would get the one big play. I mean, Russell didn't score until under a minute to go in the first quarter, and it was a big 66-yard pass from Micah Taylor, who just he's a big dude with a big arm. I mean, he is a good football
Beautiful
player.
quarterback,
Oh, yeah.
man.
But
Just-
I mean, they did. It took under a minute to go, and then the defense for Russell stepped up. They got the 41-yard pick six, and then Taylor got the touchdown run in the later on in the second quarter to score. But so I mean, it was pretty much a scoreless first quarter except for that one touchdown, and then the difference was that second quarter Russell was able to get those two and kind of pull out ahead.
yeah, they took
and
the advantage of it.
Taylor, just an amazing quarterback. One of the most amazing quarterbacks we've seen in this league. Honestly, the teams that we covered.
Yeah, Taylor.
It's essentially a league.
Yeah,
for the
it's
teams we
essentially
cover.
at this point.
And
Yeah.
we didn't even get to cover. We didn't even cover Russell and Evangel all year. The championship game was there. We were open that night, and it was like, hey, let's go get a championship. Championship game. It was a good game earlier in the season, 31-12, Russell. And then we thought, okay, well, maybe it'll be tight, maybe it'll be close, and it was a good one. I mean, all in all, it was not a disappointing trip to me.
Yeah. How about a shout out as well to the MVP of the game, Cam Darden, the
Shout out.
junior. Yeah,
Shout out,
and that was
yeah.
his first state championship too that he was in. He had a lot of good situations, a lot of good catches, and everything for Russell Christian.
Well, he
and-
got 2 rings,
Yep.
but he was injured.
He was
He
injured.
Yeah,
was
he was
injured. He
injured, yeah.
got
He
he
said it
got
was his
rings. He
first
was on the
one.
team.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to come out and show out.
Oh, yeah.
like he can play.
As
Oh,
a
yeah.
junior, so
Yeah.
you just wait to
Oh,
see what he can do as a senior.
But man, how hard do you think Taylor throws that ball? I know you.
there
heard that
were
impact.
some passes, and I think I told Audrey during the game. There were some passes. I was like, that sounded like it hurt.
Yeah. No.
That sounded like it hurt.
And
Ooh.
you got a microphone? You can, I was
yeah.
gonna say you
You
have
can-
a microphone.
come on, come
That's
on.
why
The
crowd
we have
was-
producer
ooh.
Audrey.
Ah.
Producer Audrey's mic.
No,
That's why
no,
we have
come-
producer.
come on,
Come on now. Hold on a second.
Oh, it's been
Spence.
Come on.
I gotta-
man.
Spence, you're egging her on to talk, and her mic's not on.
There you go. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
There it is.
What you got?
I just kept saying ooh, ow, because they kept getting hit, and I was like, it's not fun.
No.
The throws were almost as hard as the hits too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 9th grade, Darden had an ankle injury. 10th grade, he dislocated his shoulder, and he was out for the season both times.
Imagine having that many injuries, but yeah, his junior.
Hey, he just came back.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
Christian Sharp
Oh
getting
yeah.
hurt his junior year, coming back senior year,
Oh,
balling
yeah.
out.
In terms of the Lions, in terms of the Evangel Lions, as mentioned, Kennedy Holland tried to carry the team on his back. Essentially, they kept trying running plays with Darryl Mack, but it was just the defensive line for Russell was not having any of it. I think if they tried to have Mack work the outsides a little bit, it would have been better. But they kept trying to have the offensive line make a gap for him, and they just couldn't get the gap open.
That was a big line, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big offensive defensive
Oh
line.
yeah.
Mac doesn't look like the type of running back that you just try to gut it in.
No.
He looks
Right.
like a stretch type
Yeah.
where you try to
Yeah.
toss it out on the side.
Try to get that edge.
Yeah.
It's that, and the Holland kept trying to pass to Jeremiah Williams on pretty much every offensive play. When
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
either run it to Mack or toss it to Williams, and it wasn't until late in the third, early in the fourth quarter, they decided maybe we should adjust something.
And
here.
it looks like that was the whole game plan because it was like every time you saw like a passing happen, Williams was the only person out there.
Yeah.
He was in double, triple coverage every
Yeah.
time. So I couldn't even blame Holland for throwing it in there because it's just like, well, if that's
No.
your only choice, that's your only choice.
Speaking, going back to Darden, how about that 83-yard throw from Taylor to Darden, and then Taylor ran it in for 2 yards right after that. I mean, it was on the money too. I was
Oh, yeah.
sitting on the, if you're looking at the field, on the left side, so I was watching the throw go down, and he launched it. And it was just, I mean, it was like orbiting, and it was just dropped in perfectly right in stride.
Why can't we see them down in Florida? It's sad.
It's
but,
sad.
you
It
know,
is.
It's sad that we can't see them down in Panama City
Hey,
Beach. but,
sometimes you just gotta take the win and be like, okay, basketball.
yeah, that's
I
That's what
guess.
well, it's like Coach Braddock told us told me after the game of trying to remember a specific word. Yeah, it was that it's either if you guys want to play next year, you're in the weight room if you're not playing basketball, you're in the weight room on Monday.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so they just move right back next to it for next year. But congratulations to Russell Christian, 5 straight championships in the CFA.
And an 11-0 record.
11-0 record to end,
Dynasty.
high school dynasty for Russell Christian. And then the Extreme Cast we had yesterday, but let's talk more about the actual game. 40-22, Grace Christian got done what everyone thought was going to happen, where they came out early with the lead. They took the control there, and even with this being a one-sided game, because the last touchdown came in the expiring seconds of the fourth quarter, Lancaster's defense held Grace to around the same amount of points as their first matchup. But Lancaster's defense tried to have as much of a championship caliber game they could, but they had one problem that prevented them from being that, and it was the MVP, Cooper Kennett.
Which
is just something else with Cooper Kennett, man.
Audrey, bring the camera to me, please. You got me? Am I on? Okay, listen. All the teams in Florida. Your defensive scheme, when you play Grace Baptist, do not pay attention to everybody else. You watch Cooper Connect and the ball. That's the only thing you do, because if you don't, because there were so many times Lancaster was worried about everybody else, and then just let Cooper Connect just go. Watch him.
You say that probably Coach Ateka's going to start getting mad. You're leaking the entire game
Look,
plan.
look, Tekka,
The
look,
game plan's
exactly, yeah. It
out.
already
The game
is.
plan is out.
Tekka, look here.
Tekka.
You got me? My hair? Okay. Tekka, look at me. Look at me. It happens, brother. It happens. It's my job. I have to tell these people what to do because they don't know how to stop y'all.
Oh, man.
So I got to give a little help. Come on, man. But, hey, any coaches out there for a defensive coordinator, call me.
I like how we now. I like how we have.
Now applying for defensive coordinator. Oh man!
I didn't know we gave coaches nicknames now. Well, to be fair, he's Stephen A. Shannon. Now he's just Tekka. I'm sure you're gonna get some flack for that in Florida.
Great. Come on, Brendan. Give my name right. It's like, look, man,
Cooper
look,
Kennett, 13 carries, 176 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
That was his rushing stats. What about passing?
Passing stats, he was 6 of 11 for how many yards did he? 6 of 11 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just
So,
Kennett
he supplemented the pass when he needed to, but the run was just it was
Again.
there. It was there, and
Again.
it was handling bit. Tyler Parrott, 6 carries, 91 yards.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he had a touchdown run, 55-yard touchdown run. But on the flip side, Deuce Bragg.
Oh yeah.
If I said it last night. If Cooper Kennett doesn't play for Grace, I'm not saying Grace wouldn't get to the championship, but I think Deuce Bragg has a state championship in his junior year. 20 of 36, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think he threw a pick last night.
Mm-mm.
So, and then, when he needed to run the ball, he only had 36 rushing yards off 13 carries, and a couple of those were sacks. But when he needed to, he could go scamper and get the first down and pick up yardage where he needed to. Just incredible showing by the young man and the seniors for Lancaster. Devin Hargrove had a touchdown run. Lane Spurlock had a touchdown catch. They're right. I mean, literally, the clock hit 0 and they got the touchdown catch.
So we actually got some confirmation on it because we looked around. The reason that there were none of the seniors nominated for Lancaster to the All-American game, as we mentioned in the Extreme Cast yesterday, there are apparently some other All-American games in Florida, which we don't know the information on or any of those specific things. Apparently, also Deuce Bragg had his invite for a game in Jacksonville and Louisiana.
I've never heard of any of these.
Yeah, so we haven't heard any of those either. If anyone knows about those, we definitely send those invites or those copy of your invitations our way so we can report on it. Maybe.
What if it's our old friend?
That's the other thing I was concerned about too. Is because he went down to Florida, didn't he?
No, he's in North Dakota now.
North Dakota,
living on a reservation.
Okay, so they're out that way, but. Yeah, because I didn't know if it was.
But that doesn't mean he couldn't pop his head up in a totally different state and city. And
it's possible, but no. But that's the interesting part. You wonder about these other All-American games that we haven't heard about. When normally, we're supposed to know about these things. So send us a copy of your invitations for any of the Lancaster players who've been invited to that game in Miami or down in Louisiana. We would definitely love to have more information at the game because maybe we could be down there if it aligns. It's not conflicting with the Gatlinburg All-American games. Love to be there and highlight those 8-man players down that way. But in terms of Grace Baptist, Cooper Connett definitely deserving of the MVP. State championship definitely deserving for the Golden Eagles. And it's like I said during the broadcast, it's for Coach Deck and company. Thank you. On to Florida.
Yeah.
So
and give a shout out to that defense.
Next.
Shout out to that defense as well. Their scheme of just lining up 3 people, and then, next thing you don't know who else is coming with them.
You know who brought it last night? Bo Swanson!
Big Bo.
Think about how many
Big Bo.
how many batted
Is it Robert?
passes he had.
Is Bo for Robert?
I don't know.
Is it for Bojangles? What if his name was Bojangles Swanson?
Bojangles Swanson.
That's an endorsement. That's an endorsement deal waiting to happen. That's an endorsement deal waiting to happen.
Is.
Though.
I mean,
Bo Swanson, which he more than likely is going to go to the next level, with NIL
I feel like
and
he's
everything.
on social media.
Oh yeah,
maybe I could find out.
He's gonna get free Bojangles chicken sandwiches for life, tenders and biscuits.
Stay away from
all
the
that stuff.
biscuits.
Why is that?
Why?
It's Bojangles biscuits.
Them biscuits fire.
Is it Popeye? Is it Popeyes?
Hey, look, don't touch the Popeyes.
Whose biscuits are bad? I thought it was Bojangles.
Oh, you're just talking about the biscuits.
Yeah,
in
just the
general?
biscuits.
Oh, it's Popeyes. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
leave you dry.
Yeah,
It's in
dry.
there.
That's true. Yeah.
It's dry.
You mean the
Again, Gordon Ramsay comes in. It's dry. Anyways, but Bo Swanson, the amount of blocked passes he had at the line of scrimmage, the quarterback rushes, and I think he had a sack or two in the game.
Yeah, he
Actually,
did.
had a sack too. Yeah.
him and Connect.
It just says Bo Swanson on social media.
So
Hi.
it's just Bobo.
That may be
Hey,
his name.
listen, when Lancaster was on offense last night, it was Bo time.
Isn't that copyrighted to? Isn't that Bojangles? Their slogan is Bo
Well,
time.
yeah, but it's Bo time.
Copyright infringement when we're sponsored.
Well, guess what? The environment we were here. Let's double down. The environment we were in Tuscaloosa Friday night. I'm loving it. There you go.
Oh, that's even worse. Like it's Bo time. You can understand, but okay, all right. I'm gonna move on from that one.
Grace has chosen to live Moss.
Congratulations to the Golden Eagles as James is going to get canceled. He's going to get sued
How?
for
You
copyright
got,
infringement.
Hey, remember, you only got 3 days to cancel.
Yeah, well,
Only 3
they can
days.
sue me. They ain't getting much.
Congratulations to the Golden Eagles on winning a state championship as they move on to Panama City Beach. And you hate the loss for the Lancaster Christian Academy Knights, but more to build off of as Deuce Bragg goes into his senior year.
Ooh-wee. That man's going to come back with vengeance.
He absolutely is.
Come back like Syndrome in The Incredibles.
I'm Syndrome, your nemesis. Oh, brilliant. All right.
I do have. Okay.
What you got?
First off, shout out the Chattanoogan for an
for the
article
articles,
about the
yeah.
game. I do have. I am going to point out 2 things. It says the TISAA state championship, and it says Friday night the Golden Eagles entertained Lancaster. Well, the game was played at Easel Harding, but still.
All right,
Yeah,
all
you gotta be
right,
a little
well,
bit better.
Shout out to them on
Grace,
the stats, yeah,
The true state champions this year.
Yep.
There is no
because they haven't.
There is
'cause they
no
played other
argument.
Tennessee teams.
They
Yeah,
played other Tennessee teams. There's no other Tennessee teams who were unbeaten in Tennessee Gate Man. They are the state champions.
mm-hmm.
Was there any questions?
Well,
Well,
Based off last year,
yeah,
there were
last year,
questions.
yeah, there was a.
This year, there
last
wasn't.
year, the Heat were uncontested state champions.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Well, we don't have updated rankings for the NHSA unless those were sent over to you.
well, there's not many rankings to do.
I
there's
mean,
not many
it depends
rankings
on
to
the
go
s-
over.
The swap around.
So the way I don't think they've made a bracket yet. It's fine. So the way it's going to be is Saturday at 1 o'clock. There's going to be games at the games are going to start at 10 and then
Mhm.
1, 4, 7 hypothetically if time goes right.
Mhm.
So 1 o'clock you're going to get. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Because we're set up for some just stupid good games.
Oh yeah, we absolutely are.
1 o'clock is Freedom Ezekiel,
Mhm.
followed by Grace Evangel
Yeah,
in the first round.
and just to give a clarification
round.
as well, there is a Division II bracket for the national tournament. They have 8 teams going down there, and at 10 o'clock there's semi with the Tennessee Heat and Southern Prep and Westminster Christian out of Louisiana.
Fayette, Louisiana, 4-5 on the season.
They will be playing at 7 p.m. and actually, I believe the 8th team fell through, so Evangel Christian's B team will be playing in that Division II bracket against Westminster
Which
Christian.
they had like 50 guys on the roster, so that
Mhm.
kind of works out for them. But
And their JV1 state.
right,
So-
right, and I mean I'm excited to see the Division II games. Obviously they're great, and you know the teams in Division II maybe they didn't have the season they hoped for. They're still going to go play in some postseason football.
Mhm.
I love the D2. I love the coaches there and the football, but that D1 though.
Oh, yeah.
That D1, there is so much to break down
Mm-hmm.
in those matchups. Two games where they've already happened this season.
Yep.
And one of them was a little bit of a blowout. The other one was good. We were at one of them.
Mhm.
That D1 though is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
And I believe it's the same schedule on Monday after that Saturday,
Probably.
where I think they'll have the consolation games first, because each team is guaranteed 2 games. So I believe 10 and 1 o'clock they'll have the D2 and D1 consolation games, and then I believe the D2 championship at 4 o'clock on Monday, and then 7 o'clock for Division 1, whoever that is. But
yeah.
we don't know who it's gonna be. All we could do is at least break it down for you on how these matchups shape out, and we'll start out with. Well, actually, do we want to get into predictions now?
Why not?
No, we'll go ahead.
Yeah,
We'll go ahead.
because we might as well get into predictions. It's a shorter show today as we're wrapping things
Less
down
football
here.
to talk about.
Yep, wrapping things down here in the GracePointe Healthcare Studios. All right, let's get into predictions. We start out with the Saturday matchup at 10 a.m. in 6 days from now. The Southern Prep Academy Fighting Rangers will host the Tennessee Heat, a matchup we were unfortunately robbed of last year because of a positive COVID case within Southern Prep players. Yeah, exactly. Then the Southern Prep team. And for the Tennessee Heat, struggling year. Carter Sutton obviously still out because he's out for the season. I believe he'll probably be recovered at least from his injury maybe next month or in January, something like that.
Well, and they had Wyatt Hill and
was it
Jonah Britton. They had a couple seniors out.
Yeah, couple seniors out.
I apologize. I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to remember the name.
Yeah,
I think it was Jonah Britton.
Mm-hmm. But at least in that matchup, we were robbed of it last year, and how good of a matchup that would have been. But the Southern Prep Fighting Rangers, their only loss on only a handful of losses on the year, one of them including Evangel. And as an independent team, with them trying to build a winning culture and everything, as mentioned, it was either tied or the second best record in football history for Southern Prep.
It was the best.
Yeah, the best record on the year for them. I think.
Let me verify.
At the time when they played when they won against Calhoun County, it was ruled a.
Well, they got a win since then.
Yeah, they did get a win since then. So I believe now it is the best record in. I believe it is the best record in school history, but
it ties the when they beat Trinity 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It tied most wins in a season. They went to 8-2, which then since then they lost to Evangel, so they're 8-3 overall. Tied the most wins in the school season in a season. So with a win at nationals, they'll break that tie.
Yeah, they could break
9 wins on the year.
They could break the tie if they win against the Tennessee Heat in that semifinal, or if they win in the consolation game on Monday if they go there. But Tennessee Heat, Southern Prep, you got a struggling team in the Heat. Coach Scott and company, I'm sure they got a game plan working, but Southern Prep has just looked so dominant throughout the year. So on paper, it looks one-sided, but it's possible that Ryan Scott could pull some tricks up his sleeve. Who knows? But Brendan, we shall start with you on predictions, all the predictions this week. So, sir.
You're already going to make me the bad.
So, Tennessee Heat, Southern Prep in that first semifinal on Saturday. Who are you taking?
Look, man, unless Tennessee Heat figures out how to get the ball, keep rolling in the second half, it's going to be a Southern Prep game. No questions asked. All
right, James.
Ernest Moore. Let's do what we did last night. Ernest Moore. What? Davis Fugate.
What?
Garrett Peebles.
What?
Evan Cole.
What?
Owen Wolf.
Who?
Theo Rendler.
Huh?
What?
Where?
How? Yeah, so I'm taking Southern
Why?
Prep in this one. I love the Heat, love Ryan Scott, love the whole team. I think Lucky and Luke Matthews, Devontae, Keandre. No, it's not Devontae. It's DeAndre. And then Keandre. All those guys are going to come to play, but I think Southern Prep takes this one.
You want a far out there prediction? If the Tennessee Heat get the opening kickoff, Kyron Washington for a touchdown. That's a far out prediction I will make.
We'll check there because he didn't even start.
We'll check the sports books for it.
What's the over under on? That's the over under on it. Maybe the point spread. What's the point spread? But you were saying that. Yeah, I don't know if he was starting in that Independence Bowl. I think he got shut down. No, what happened in the Independence Bowl? Touchback happened every time. So Kyron Washington couldn't even return.
He didn't,
but he wasn't even out there.
No,
yeah,
he was. Yeah,
the
he
first
was.
couple halves?
Yeah.
What? You sure?
Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah.
But Nathan Ogletree was just dropping dimes into the end zone.
But couldn't even kick a field goal. Coach. Come on.
Bruh.
Come on.
Come on now.
Could have tried a field goal on that. All right. Now, this matchup, a rematch of the regular season. The runner-up for the national championship last year and the two-time defending ACSC champion Ezekiel Academy Knights. They are not the higher seed because of losing to Freedom earlier in the year, and they are colliding with the Freedom Cowboys. Ooh, this is one of those semifinals that is going to be interesting. It is awesome that the way that the bracket is played out, it's a rematch of the regular season for both semifinals. So this is going to be an interesting shape-up for whoever goes to the national championship. Whoever wins these games deserves to go to the national championship. So it's going to be interesting to see how the seniors of Ezekiel Academy face adversity. Same with the Freedom Cowboys. So, Brendan, your difficult job now is to pick between these compared seniors. You know, with the Freedom Cowboys, they not just seniors. They got guys like TJ Lorio, sophomore Joshua Butler. Got other star guys on their side of the ball for, of course, Ezekiel Academy. You got guys like Spackman, underclassmen. Got Baumgartner,
Peyton Leach
participates there. Peyton Leach as
Peyton
well.
Patchell.
As he
Corey
what? What? So
Mac Mills.
What? Anyway, so Brendan, the choice is yours on that first semifinal. We will have the pleasure of watching in Florida.
This one's tough because I love those Cowboys, boy. They play hard. But Ezekiel Academy has some grown, full-blown men out here. Anybody have a quarter?
Do it.
You could ask your phone.
Do you want me to pick it? Do you want me to pick it first?
No.
Why are you looking at me asking that question? That's a question to
him.
You know what?
We're going to roll with Ezekiel Academy. I think they're going to get the job done. I think they older guys are going to be like, you know what, this is going to be our year. We're going to take state, and we're going to try to give Grace Baptist a run for their money at the national championship.
Ooh.
During the live show next Sunday, because we will have a live version of Extreme Talk, will be the second time you will hear me saying this because they'll be playing for the national championship. This is the first time, and only one of two, that you'll hear me say, how about them boys?
Ooh.
Taking Freedom. Freedom's already beat Ezekiel in the regular season. They already beat him.
What was the final score on that?
42-6. Let's verify that.
And how long ago was that matchup too? Because you think about not just
It was September 3rd, 32-7.
32-7, September 3rd, and you think the time or adjustments from that?
I think Freedom's gotten better down the stretch. I really do. I mean, they've reeled off. Well, they didn't get to play Classical, so since losing to Evangel, which was their only loss in the year, they started off the season with 5 wins, lost to Evangel, and then reeled off 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. So they're not struggling.
Mm-hmm.
They did struggle against Evangel, but they have been on a roll down the stretch, and they beat Franklin Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Tough game. They struggled a little bit with Carolina. To be fair, they struggled with the Heat. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a second-half team. They are a second-half team. So I'm taking Freedom on this one.
All right, split decision on that one for that first semifinal matchup. And now,
also, they beat Lighthouse Homeschool 40-6, and Lighthouse Homeschool beat beat Ezekiel. Granted, 2 points, 34-32.
Say one
But-
too far.
I mean, they were quite a bit ahead of them.
the second semifinal matchup, another rematch of the regular season, and we had that game in late August, early September. No,
It was
late
late August.
Late
Late
August, or
It's
third
like second or third week of the season.
third broadcast week of the season for us, and it was the matchup between the Evangel Christian School Lightning and the Grace Baptist Academy Golden Eagles. Final score on that 41-29, if I'm not mistaken. And that
48-28.
40 yeah,
41-29 was the Evangel FCA.
That's right. That's right. 48-28 on that, and even though on paper it was a 20-point separation between the two, Grace Baptist kept it close throughout the entirety of the game. And once again, Cooper Connect is the reason that they were able to win that game against the Evangel Lightning, especially on the road. They did what Esau Harding couldn't do in 2019 on the road. This rematch, you would love to see it in the national championship, but with the way the cards fell,
We want to see it now.
Let's go ahead and let's get this out of the way.
Fair enough. But in this matchup, Tim Smith, as usual, coming out with a vengeance. You know, guys like Eli Whitfield, they know what a national championship feels like, and they want another taste of that. But they have to get through the Golden Eagles on this. So, Brendan, the coaching staff loves you for Grace Baptist. The Evangel coaching staff loves you as well. But Grace, they've been telling you so much about the humble pie. So, question comes down to Brendan: Do you take any chances here
Against the 3-time defending national champions.
Audrey, you know what to do. Bring the camera to me.
Now bring it to James. Now bring it
No,
back
go
to me.
Why are you stealing my job? Audrey, like I was saying, bring the camera to us.
It's on you.
Now go to James.
Go to,
I just can't come to me. Come to me.
come to-
Listen, Evangel. Listen, y'all did great that first game. You did wonderful against Grace Baptist. You almost made me so proud. Listen, as much as I want you guys to win and get this revenge game, I'm sadly going to have to give it to Grace Baptist because you guys aren't going to be able to stop Cooper Connect. So, hey, I wish you guys the best. You guys played great.
And that by Brendan's prediction, the Evangel Lightning will be in the consolation game for the Division One bracket.
We all got to play consolation game just to see who's the better loser.
Right. All right, James. This one of the more difficult decisions of your career, I would say, because of this being one of the close semis. So the Lightning, the Lightning, and the Golden Eagles in this rematch. Who do you got?
This isn't a tough one at all.
Ooh.
Lightning are going to be peed off after the way that last week went. Like Friday night. Absolutely just have a fire lit under them.
I'm hearing Evangel.
Grace has faced some competition. They beat FCA. They eked them out twice.
Mhm.
Evangel handled FCA. Handled them. Taking Evangel.
Oh, Stephen A. Shannon has made his hot take for the week in predictions.
I think that's both games we have opposite picks.
It's opposite picks.
You want to make bet?
No, I don't think so.
He says yes, Spencer. You
I'm
can't
down.
tell us what to
All
do.
right,
We're
you
grown men.
What was our fat boy pick going to be?
Let's think about
Let's
that.
think about it.
All right, and the final game for Saturday's matchups is
got it.
Westminster
You got it? I
Christian.
got it.
Oh boy.
Whoever loses, we have to set up one of the folding plastic tables, and you have to fall back into the table.
Uh-oh. I don't know about that one. We
I've
have
got
to
a big- I've got a big
brother.
Welcome to the Welcome to ECW, the new Extreme Championship Wrestling. Take a 6-foot plastic folding table, stand on it, and then just fall back and.
You guys are crazy. All right, 7 p.m. on
It's Florida.
Saturday.
When I win, I'm gonna be like, Devon, get the table.
6. All right, Westminster Christian collides with the B team of the Evangel Christian School Lightning, or essentially
It's
their JV.
Westminster.
Westminster
Let's just call
Christian.
it Westminster right here.
Anyways, 7. The JV team for the Evangel Lightning collide with Westminster and
There's gonna be some varsity players in there.
8.
8.
And
No, I'm
he said it at the
defending them.
same
I'm
time. He's
defending
like
them.
8.
There's gonna be some varsity. I don't want to hype on this. I don't want to harp on this game. Westminster, boom.
All
done.
right. Well, Westminster collides with Evangel's B team is essentially the term that we have on there for the Division II bracket, and whoever faces that will face off against Tennessee Heat or Southern Prep.
That'll be Southern Prep.
It's gonna
So
be something.
9. All right, Brendan, who do you have in this matchup between Westminster and Evangel?
Okay, so I'm just gonna go with Evangel's JV team because I didn't give your A team some love, so I guess your B team is gonna have to be the team to get it done.
Westminster's gonna come up out of Louisiana with their 4-5 record. It's not fantastic.
I was waiting for something better. I was like 4 and 5,
That it's been a little rough.
a little.
Here's their wins: 62-12,
Okay.
54-0, 46-18. They've handled business. They did take
What
2
about
losses
the
to
losses?
Birchman's. Well, I mean, you had 34-22,
Okay.
48-20,
Mhm.
36-14,
Mhm.
34-32, and 64-36.
Yeah, still going with Team B over here.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
taking Westminster.
Yeah. All right. You guys are
Oh, we are
split on
definitely
a.
falling down that table.
Yeah, you guys are split on a lot of these decisions here. Yeah.
No, the bet's on D1.
Okay.
You
Okay.
won.
Okay.
You
I
guys
try
are-
to get D2 some love. I'm sorry.
All right, well, you guys are split on a lot
So
of
wait.
decisions this week.
If you win one and I win one,
They're gonna have to be the split.
then we'll have to go to.
Yeah.
Then that'll be the tiebreaker. This
Yep.
one. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Better than a coin toss. All right. So better
Bang,
tiebreaker
bang.
than a coin toss. All right. Well, that wraps up our predictions for the week, and we would have had an interview on the show, but just people have busy schedules as we get down closer to Florida and everything. So, all right, we're already at the portion of the show for these shout-outs. We start out with our producer,
Shout-outs.
Audrey Green.
Shout out.
I have a feeling I know which shout-out this is gonna come to because it usually relates to merch. But all right, Audrey, who you got for
Take
your
my-
shout-outs
Yeah,
this week?
take my job.
Well, I didn't really have a shout out, but I guess shout out. I don't know who let us get the shirts, so I don't know who.
No,
did.
I'm just kidding. It was
Like,
it was
James for giving us the shirt.
it was-
for getting
it
the
was,
shirts for us.
Too bad his got robbed.
shout out to Coach Danny Lancaster
Yep.
from
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa Christian.
Yep.
Hooking us up.
Yep.
He's the guy that coordinated it.
Yeah, thank you to him.
I just said, "Hey, can we have shirts?" And he was like, "Absolutely."
And then someone took your shirt.
Oh, that's my shout out. Shout out to someone from Alabama doing Alabama stuff. Of course, they're in Tuscaloosa,
I'm
the
sure.
garbage train.
I'm sure. Oh,
No, I'm just
okay.
kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm sure that it was unintentional.
They're like the grease trap of Alabama.
Oh,
Tuscaloosa.
We're not gonna.
Tuscaloosa Christian folks are nice.
We're not
Okay.
gonna be able to.
You
Yeah,
know where
yeah.
Tuscaloosa's. You know where Tuscaloosa's.
You're not You're not gonna be welcome down at Tuscaloosa Christian anymore. You better hope they don't host
No,
the CFA
Tuscaloosa
championship next year.
Christian is fantastic.
Yeah, but after saying that,
No, I'm saying the town of Tuscaloosa, where the University of I can't say that swear word on air.
Alabama.
Oh, you just cussed on air.
Hey, guess what? Roll Tide.
FCC's coming after us.
Goodness.
Somebody stole my shirt.
I'm
so
sure
I
it was
hope you enjoy your
unintentional.
free shirt. Unintentional.
I'm sure it was unintentional.
No.
You know what's unintentional? You don't want to know what's unintentional?
I don't think I want to know.
Me
'cause,
falling asleep Friday night on the way back. That was unintentional.
I mean, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I almost dozed
Hey,
off. When we
I'm
were on the
sure
drive
you
back.
made.
Yeah, I almost did a few times. I was gonna open up the window to get some cold air in, but I looked back and everyone was passed out. So I'm like, I don't want
a
to.
Red Bull.
No, because I would have been up the rest of the night. I
It'd
needed
given
at
you
least-
wings.
Wings, yes. Anyways, all right, Brendan, your shout outs for the week.
Well, first off, shout out to James because I'm sure the 3XL made another big guy happy. So shout out to you.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure he was like, "Ooh, 3XL."
That's fair.
But no, shout out to my grandfather because he was a military vet.
Yeah.
So he's the reason I'm wearing this shirt.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to you. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what or who I'd be or where I'd be at. So thank you so much for everything you've done for me in life. You've been my father.
Shout out.
All right, James, you got any others other than the shirt? He didn't think this
Shout
through.
out to NHSA and Hank St. Dennis
Yep.
for the job they've done so far, organizing the national tournament, and just really allowing us to come down, have fun. I mean, we're still going to be working like
Yep.
12 hours both days, doing all 8 games.
But we can do it.
But we can do it, and he's making it possible for us to do it.
Yep.
So shout out to him for handling that. And I am going to give a shout out to the broadcast last night.
Sure.
I know it's a few weeks. It took. I would hope it was at least a few weeks in the making. I'm not going to say that everyone was implied in the decision to sit back and go, forget 8-man extreme. We're just going to block them out and do our own thing. So I'm sure there were people there with good intentions that truly just wanted, and maybe it was maybe they were excited. Maybe it was their chance to do a championship game. Oh, we get to do a championship game finally, because usually it's 8-man extreme, and they do it every year, and now we get a chance to do it. I remember what it was like to do my first championship game. I was very excited. So I am going to give them a shout out. They to a certain extent, they did the best they could. We all knew what to expect. We all knew what it was going to be like going in. We did criticize it. We were critical of some of the ways they did some stuff. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to seasoned broadcasters. But they did the best they could in the majority of the areas. I do give them a solid B-, so I do want to give them a shout-out.
Got any others?
They gave at one point, they gave 117 people a chance to watch the state championship game. So we'll give them a shout-out for that. But other than that, hey, I hated not being there. But
Hey, I mean, it also gave us a good experiment, good alternative with the alternative broadcast. I think it was pretty.
It was a lot of fun. And shout out, 2 other shout outs. Shout out to the Grace folks for just all the love and support they've sent us on our way. Shout out to everyone who's ordered merch. A lot of merch has gone out. I mean, we've sent it to New York,
Get your merch, man. It's
Bama,
beautiful.
Tennessee, all over the place. So shout out. You can hit our social media. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel again. You can hit our social media.
Do it. You
All
might
right,
have somebody
so-
new out there right now.
Shoot us an email with an email tied to a PayPal account. Or it doesn't really even have to be tied to a PayPal account, but that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Shoot us an email. Tell us which shirt you want. We have the signature, the camo, and the pink. I have the signature on. Brendan has the camo, and then
It's fly, right?
the
It's
pink
fly.
shirt. I know it's not October. Maybe women out there like to wear pink.
No. Get that pink shirt.
Get the pink shirt.
Because tell them about that deal.
So you can tell us what kind you want. We have different sizes, small to 3X, and then send us an address as well for mailing. So you'll send us the order. We will ship it to. We'll send you a PayPal request for the money. It's 1 for 20, 2 for 35, 3 for 50.
What a deal.
We're gonna add facts. We're gonna add $5 for shipping. And then we will ship them out as soon as we get a tracking order. We'll email you a tracking number, and that way you can keep track of your package as it comes in. So trust me, our goal is not to make money on this at all. We're really not making, if anything. But the goal is to get these shirts out that have the logo 8=11. It's a great conversation starter. A lot of people use it as people are like, well, what does that mean? Boom! Now I have an open door. So, and you do get to rep the brand. I mean, that's fair. The camo shirt, you get to here in November being Military Appreciation Month, you get to rep the military a little bit. By the way, if you are a veteran or you are currently serving, $5 off your order.
Yep.
Hey, can't beat
or
that.
off the camo shirts.
Mhm.
So you can't beat that with a stick.
Why not all three?
Fine, all three. Brendan has laid the gauntlet down, all three. So,
You're welcome.
so there you go. That's the merch, and we will have hats this week. So we'll have to
No
see how many
beanies.
we've got. Yeah, we didn't get beanies. That's fair. But a shout out to everyone who's ordered merch.
Sure, he'll get beanies next year. Sure, he's
No
gonna
So
do
we
that.
should
Tell
do
them again, Audrey.
we should do
Hats
Tell
for
'em
beanies.
again for the
warm,
people in the
beanies for
back.
cold. Yeah.
We should do beanies and hoodies next year, since we did T-shirts and hats this year.
Yes.
Yeah, or in the words of James, or you could do just the hoods. You could do just the just
the
for
sew
hoods.
hoodies?
Yeah, the
Like
sew hoodies
yeah.
like you done. Yeah.
Well, those are like those are a little bit those are a little bit
Yep.
they're expensive. You can here's the thing.
Keep the option.
Just if you want to get one, just email us and ask for the logo, and we'll send you the logo, and then you can go on their website, do the custom logo ordering setup, and then just import the logo, and then order your hoodie.
No, just order it from us. We'll take care of it.
I don't want the stress of that.
It's not stressful. It's not that bad. It wasn't
Alright.
stressful for you. So
It's easier if you just email us for the logo, though.
first and foremost, thank you, of course, to my father for serving the U.S. Army Special Forces 24 years, and my late grandfather for serving for 20 years in the United
Shout
States
out.
Army as well. My dad's on a cruise right now with my mama. They're getting a well-deserved vacation through everything they've been going through with business and everything, and essentially being on the front lines. Also, to reflect what James said, shout out to the Grace families that wore our A-Man Extreme merch at the state championship. Shout out to those.
That's
those
at least what
parents
we
who
were
in the crowd.
told.
Yeah,
I'm
we told
doing
this
We're
everybody.
told.
Yeah. Shout out
I
to
hope
those
they
people.
did it. That
yeah,
would've been
I'm
so
sure they
awesome.
did. Yeah, it's those who wore those. I personally wanted people to have signs of like "Free 8-Man Extreme" in the stadium or something like that. But
I wonder if they would have gotten tossed out or like confronted.
How could you
no,
toss
just have
them out?
how would you have everyone start going
You would
"Free
look
8-Man
so-
Extreme"?
You would look so bad if you tossed them out just for wearing that shirt.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
they looked
yeah.
bad banning us too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But
But just imagine
we ain't ready for that conversation.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, hey, that's how the cookie crumbles.
crumble cookies.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
we still need a box. We still need a box of crumble cookies. You know what you should do, James?
Where it at though?
What's
You know what you should do, James?
What's
on your
that?
way down to Florida,
What's that?
get a box of crumbles. Get a box from the
I'll
shop.
probably leave my house at like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night.
Ain't no
Those,
problem.
they'll be open.
no problem.
You can
I'll-
just
I'll
grab
be
it from
trying to get
Vanderbilt.
down there.
You could just grab it from it. Or no. Have Junior grab it on his way back from work.
He's gonna be no. He works up there by me.
Okay. Well,
Why
here,
don't you grab it on your way down? You're going down at like
because it's
2
at
in the
Vanderbilt.
afternoon.
Because it's at Vanderbilt Village.
So
So
just
going
run up there
again,
and
going 20 minutes up and then going back down. You're on the way because you have to go through Nashville. Oh, he's doing the whole thing. Who cares? Who
I hear
cares?
excuses.
I hear excuses from you.
Fair enough.
So, but shout out to the parents who made a point of saying, hey, this is the wrong decision. Those who had phone calls, emails, and all those kind of things. There's some things in the works to have a make our stance more clear. We got some things behind the scenes.
And options.
Yep, and options
Options
and
are good.
everything. So we're there's some things in the works at least for the future for you guys. But I'm just excited.
That's
to
next year's us problem.
I'm just excited to get down to Florida in 5 days. It's gonna be fun. Getting down to getting away from the cold, getting to Panama City
man.
Beach on beach.
It's gonna be so
He's already
Audrey,
starting to do
Go
the whole.
ahead, my brother.
Audrey's excited.
Oh yeah, she was already asking, do they have a hot tub at the resort?
What?
I think they have heated pools. I looked it up.
They have heated pools. Okay.
Oh, you were doing like
less.
research.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
She hasn't been done.
I'm saying I
Those
haven't been
these
there.
two haven't been
See,
down to
we
Florida
talk
before.
about all these
Bringing a
movies.
bathing
Whoa,
suit
whoa,
just in case.
whoa. What did you just say?
What?
You two haven't been down to the resort before.
Oh, okay. I
Florida
was about to
before.
say,
Beach, but I've never
sir,
been to the
I've
resort.
been to Florida.
No, I meant it
Kinda
as you guys
human
haven't been
life
down.
do
You
you
were
think
saying,
I'm
Audrey?
living?
I've been to Panama City Beach before, but I've never been to the resort.
Yeah, the resort and going down to Florida with the thing and everything. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I meant by that. I assume you guys have been down to Florida before, but
Spencer.
that's that.
We get a
Ted.
little variety in 8-Man Extreme. You can't handle it.
What?
I'm messing with
Yeah, he.
you. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Excited to get down to Panama City Beach and Laguna Beach. Really excited to socialize with teams that actually, pretty much all the teams. I mean, we haven't interacted with Westminster, but all the rest of the teams down there, families, players, coaches who actually appreciate what
Oh,
we
yeah.
do, and
For sure.
it's going to be fun. Like whichever, out of all those coaches, whichever ones and whichever players we get on the live show on Sunday of next week. Oh, it's going to be great.
It'll be fun. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we'll have the 2 coaches and 2 players that are playing for the championship, but hopefully we can pack out the sanctuary down there.
I'm sure we will. Yeah,
I mean,
we'll make sure to
like,
talk about it at the team meeting on
Pack
Friday.
it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get everybody packed in
There's
there.
7,
Mhm.
technically 8 football teams down there.
Oh,
Let's pack the sanctuary. Maybe we'll do a Q&A.
yeah, we probably could. We got the mics for it. We got all the abilities and everything on
We
it.
could do like
so.
a mini concert. I'm just kidding.
No, you know
The
what we
live
could
show.
do?
Me.
The live
No, you know what we could do, James? Us 3, we can have the lapel mics, and then we have the handhelds for the interviewees and for the Q&As. For the Q&A.
They ain't gonna ask
We
no
have the-
questions.
what are you
They ain't gonna ask
talking
no
about?
questions.
What are you talking
What
about?
people really want to see is a roast. People want to see a roast.
He's flashing back to 2018 when we did that
did a
Extreme
roast.
All-Star game, which that was fun.
I think the video's gone. I don't, or
we
did
didn't.
we
No,
record
we
it?
didn't.
record
We
it.
didn't
yeah.
record it.
No, it was
We
gone.
just decided not to live stream it or
The
do
roast
anything
was
with
fun,
that.
though.
Yeah. No, that was fun. It was very fun. We're gonna have some fun down in.
That's
Florida
like the
as well.
highlight of the year is getting to do a live show.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of fun.
Well, not only that, this is our first live show with cameras because we've done a live show from Florida in 2019
yeah,
and
that's
2020.
true. But
So
it was
this
never
will be
recorded.
this will be with
Yeah.
cameras and all that stuff. So Audrey will be working hard with the transition
Sitting back.
swapping and everything. Yeah. she's
We should let Audrey just roast us.
Oh yeah.
I bet she
Do
has,
Audrey what?
And let
Well,
Audrey roast us.
I'm
Oh,
sure she
that's
has
that-
so much
oh.
in the chamber right now.
All
Yeah. She probably got some worked up for all of us.
There you go.
That'll be fun. But
She's sitting there with a smile on her face, like nothing's
yeah,
gonna
she's
happen,
like,
but-
yes.
I have one more shout out.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't know we were saying people in our family who served, but shout out to my grandpa for being in the Air Force.
Shout out.
Yep. For all the service. You could hear the feedback on the microphone when she was clapping. Just doom, 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 doom. But all right. Well, the shout outs are done. The predictions are over. That recap is done, and turns
A
out
little
we
bit
didn't-
shorter show today.
Yeah, turns out we didn't have an interview on the show, so I didn't have to unplug these things anyway. So that is going to
Shout out to Chase Edmonds for getting hurt.
Really though. Shout out to Chase Edmonds for getting hurt.
and
Shout out to my risk of playing Jordan Love.
to join you guys in breaking the
Yeah.
fourth wall. I am losing 69-61 right now. I need another Patrick Mahomes, and
sure.
Travis Kelce touchdown,
I should have played Ben Roethlisberger.
and I also need Mason Crosby to.
look who's catching up.
You're catching up. You're getting there.
All right. Well,
After we're done though, well, it's 3-3. And you have 3 people tonight, and I have 2 people.
all right. Well, that is gonna do it for
We're playing each other
Extreme
in
Talk,
fantasy.
presented by GracePointe Healthcare, fueled by Fairlife Core
In his
Power
dreams.
Protein, financially supported in part by First Horizon, and sponsored by Crumble Cookies in Iceberg, plumbing, heating, and cooling. For Audrey Green on the other side of the camera. As soon as this actually, there we go. Let me start that theme over real quick. For Audrey Green on the other side of the camera. There we go. For Audrey
What
Green.
you playing, son?
For Audrey Green on the other side of the camera. For Brendan Daniel. For James Shannon. For Monica Shannon. All the hardworking men and women that make 8-Man Extreme so successful. Spencer Thompson saying thank you for watching Extreme Talk. We'll see you on Saturday for the national tournament for 8-Man football.